Want to know why? Ask how. Howard, the humongous. Okay, I've written another script for you. Let's get shocking. I'm about to defend female high school teachers who sleep with their male 16-year-old students. And I'm about to defend Monica Lewinsky. Here's the question. Who's the real sexual pervert? Monica Lewinsky or the press? Who's the real sexual sinner? Bill Clinton or Republican prosecutor Kenneth Starr? And what about the sexual cruelties inflicted by guess who? By you and me. Monica Lewinsky gave her first public talk in 10 years on Monday, October 20th at Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit in Philadelphia. The press mocked her, but she had some very important things to say. You've heard the key line. I fell in love with my boss in a 22-year-old sort of way. It happens. But my boss was the President of the United States. That's a quote from Monica. The affair, Monica said, went on for 2 years. Then Lewinsky told of someone who became her close friend. A close friend who was really an enemy, using a profound, rotten form of dishonesty. The so-called friend was a plant from the opposition who says, Monica, quote, audio taped over 20 hours of private and intimate phone chats. That false friend set up the 22-year-old White House intern to be trapped in a shopping mall by 2 FBI agents. The agents took Monica to a hotel room, would not let her contact her attorney, and threatened her with a 27-year jail sentence and with a prosecution against even her mother if she didn't wear a wire. Monica refused to wear the wire. Then Lewinsky told of being, quote, called upon to testify to a room full of strangers on unimaginably intimate details of my life, close quote. Most important, Lewinsky, who is now 41, told of being robbed of her sense of self for nearly 20 years by a press that redefined her in ways she didn't recognize. Quote, let me tell you about being publicly separated from your truth, she said. Back to the quote, being publicly separated from your truth is one of the classic triggers of anxiety, depression, and self-loathing. And the greater the distance between the you people want you to be and the you actually are, the greater will be your anxiety, depression, sense of failure, and sense of shame. But those were mild words. Lewinsky drilled down to the emotional core with what she added. I came close, she said, to disintegration. What does it really feel like to watch yourself, she said, or your name and likeness be ripped apart online? Some of you may know this yourself. It feels like a punch in the gut, as if a stranger walked up to you on the street and punched you hard and sharp in the gut. But that's nothing compared to the real heart of the matter. Added Monica, quote, it honestly feels like the whole world is laughing at you. There was a restless mantra in my head. I want to die. This was different than the embarrassment I felt when my younger brother read my diary, or when my 7th grade crush shared the love letter I had written to him with everybody he knew. I couldn't imagine ever showing my face in public again. I cringed, I yelled, I sobbed, and the mantra continued. I just want to die. And when Monica Lewinsky said die, she meant suicide. To get across her point, Lewinsky told a story you've heard before. Quote, one day in 2010, an 18-year-old Rutgers freshman called Tyler Clementi was next. After his roommate secretly videotaped streamed him via webcam kissing another man, Tyler was derided and ridiculed online. A few days later, submerged in the shame and public humiliation, he jumped from the George Washington Bridge to his death, close quote. There's more. Said Monica, quote, I lost my reputation. I was publicly identified as someone I didn't recognize, and I lost my sense of self, lost it, or had it stolen. Because in a way, it was a form of identity theft. Lewinsky calls people like her, quote, victims of the shame game. She calls the culture that allows these cruelties the culture of humiliation. She says very validly, we've got a compassion deficit, an empathy crisis. And she hopes her story can help. This is not stuff we should laugh at. This is not an opinion we should mock or a fact we should ignore. And it's not the only sexual bullying around. Atlantic Monthly has an article, Why Kids Sext by Hannah Rosen, in its current issue. A male high school student who is considered hot, the story says, will persuade a female student who longs for him but feels she will never get him that he might fall in love with her, just might, if only she sends him a selfie of her breasts, her naked breasts. Love-starved, she lifts her smartphone after she showers and takes a picture, then sends it to him. He, in turn, sends it to all his friends. He's humiliated the girl, and he's shattered her trust. Now she can be the laughingstock of the school, and he can feel like a fucking king. But that's not the only way we destroy the lives of others over things that should be private sexual matters. Headlines all over the web tout stories like these. Megan Mahoney, a gym teacher in Staten Island, has been charged with 30 counts of statutory rape for sex with a 16-year-old male student. Brian Altis, another teacher, was arrested in Utah for sex with a 15-year-old student. Summer Michelle Hansen in California is charged for having sex with 5 students, not all at once. She gave one student sex, for example, as a prize for doing well in a basketball game. Diane Lee Farnell, a high school English teacher, turned herself in to North Carolina police for sex with one of her students, and Rachel Gendron in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, was charged with 5 counts of rape. Yes, for rape. For an affair with a 14-year-old male student. If you've ever been a teenage boy, you know that these teachers were doing their students a huge, huge favor. Teenage boys are starved for sex. Some even chant hopeless mantras like, I'm so horny I could die. But you and I need to read about these so-called transgressions, these false crimes. We need the headlines to feed our sexual hunger. And the fact that we are ruining lives with these headlines, where does that fit in? Normally, it doesn't fit into our thinking at all. We are like the sexting sexual high school bullies. We participate in mobs that tear apart lives, and we let ourselves get away with it. But where does the sexual cruelty come from? From the animal core of our brain, from what some neuroscientists have called the reptilian and mammalian brain. It comes from our hierarchical instincts, from our pecking order instincts, from the instincts that put one beast on the top of the heap and the rest of us on the bottom. The very words, a put down, are a reference to our hierarchies, to our pecking orders, to our competitions to be on top of the heap, and to our biological determinations of who is on top and who is not. Being on top is a heady privilege. But there's a flip side we never read about. Pecking orders determine who is allowed to outlaw the sex of others, and who the top animals are allowed to sexually repress. A male lizard who fights his way to the top gets sexual access to the females. In fact, they are drawn to him. And he gets to tyrannize the other males. Male rats fight for dominance too. The rat who wins gets to have sex with all the females in the group. And just as important, he gets to prevent all the other rats from having any sex at all the other male rats. A wolf who makes his way to the position of top dog, to the alpha position, gets the same thing. He gets all the sex in the group. And he gets to repress the sexuality of others. He gets to stop it. A wolf, and wait. In fact, he guarantees that his male pack mates get no sex whatsoever. The alpha female does the same to her female pack mates. She doesn't allow them a lick of sex. The result is that the only pups in the litter are the ones the top female has with the top-ranked male, and the whole pack is forced to act like a giant meat hunting and babysitting mechanism for the aristocratic, lofty top pair. It works in much the same way with chimpanzees. Males compete to work their way to the top. Then the top chimp gets all the sex. What's more, and here's the important part, he gets to stop others from having sex. Any sex at all. When he spots a subordinate male flirting by showing an erection to a female, or by going off to a hidden spot with a girl chimp, the top male stops it, often violently. This is why I hate paper. I have no ability to turn pages whatsoever. So the obsession with putting down the sex of others is an animal instinct. We need to shove someone below us to feel on top. And that instinct is particularly powerful in politics. Roman political campaigns, ancient Roman political campaigns, 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, used graffiti the way that we use TV ads. And that graffiti focused on sex. For example, you might accuse the politician you were attacking as a whoremaster. Remember, in the name of the primary value of conservatives, liberty, the FBI set Monica Lewinsky up with a friend who taped 20 hours of private conversation. Then the FBI pounced on Monica and treated her like a criminal. Why all of this heavy-handed intrusion on personal freedom and very private matters? Because a bunch of Republicans were out to impeach a Democratic president, Bill Clinton, for something, for anything. It didn't matter. You know, I'm biased on this issue. You know that I'm a Democrat. And people like Ann Coulter believe all of us Democrats and liberals are, in her words, traitors, liars, and accomplices of the devil. No, I am not exaggerating. Here are a few choice words from Ann Coulter. Quote, liberals are driven by Satan and lie constantly, close quote. Quote, if liberals are not traitors, their only fallback argument at this point is that they're really stupid, close quote. Quote, there are a lot of bad Republicans, but there are no good Democrats, close quote. And quote, stop with the infernal nonsense of thinking liberals are decent but misguided people and characterize the threat appropriately. Start by telling the truth about them. They are out to destroy the country, close quote. Thank you, Ann. I mean, seriously, what good American could tolerate a traitor out to destroy the country in the most sacred of all of our secular places, the White House? So it made sense to a Republican billionaire like Richard Mellon Scaife in the 1990s, just $1 million, to find some flaw, any flaw, that would deep six President Bill Clinton.
After all, he was a Democrat. None of the promising leads on Clinton's obvious deal with Satan panned out for Scafee and his little team of presidential saboteurs. The investigation of Hillary Clinton's law firm didn't pan out. The investigation of the suicide of presidential aide Vince Foster didn't pan out. But one thread led somewhere. It led to Bill Clinton's underwear. And more important, it led to what was inside that underwear. And that proved to be a jackpot. When it comes to proving that Bill Clinton was satanic, not to mention a traitor destroying the nation, sex turned out to be the Super Bowl of sin. It attracted headlines it would have cost $1 billion to buy. Why? Remember, stopping someone else's sexual behavior is the ultimate animal instinct prize. And one way to stop someone else's sexual activity is scandal. Or to put it differently, one way to feel that you are high on the social totem pole is to put someone else down. And keeping another human from having sex is a fabulous way to feel that you are on top, and he or she is not. There's one more reason for this sexual cruelty. Remember, it makes the folks who are putting down the so-called sexual criminals feel they are on top. And when you feel on top, your serotonin, one of your reward hormones, can actually double. But to achieve this hormonal boost, you destroy another human being. And some of these destructions of another human's sense of self, privacy, and value, some of these humiliations can lead to suicide. When a Kenneth Starr went after Bill Clinton, he was doing the same sex humiliator. He was using our fixation on sex, yours and mine, your hunger and mine for sexual headlines. Look, sex is vital. Vital to lobsters, lizards, dogs, chimpanzees, and to you and me. Life is, unfortunately, brief. Our only way to keep the species going, our only way, is sex. That is why sex is so central to our emotions and so central to our biology. That's why it is central to our second-by-second fixations, the fixations that politicians and journalists can use. Sex sells newspapers. We're told that newspaper journalism is controlled by the big corporations. That's not true. The press attacks big corporations all the time. Newspaper content is controlled by our hormones, by your sexuality and mine. If you appeal to our sexual obsessions, to our politely hidden sexual obsessions, you can boost your views or the number of papers you sell by 30,000 or more. But I've got news for Kenneth Starr, the prosecutor who abused Monica Lewinsky and the press in order to topple Bill Clinton. I've got news for Ann Coulter, and I've got news for the high school and college kids who use sexual pictures to destroy reputations and humiliate others. The crime is not the sexuality of the person in the picture. The perverts are not the presidents taking sexual advantage of interns. The sexual acts of those presidents are not crimes against the state. They are crimes against the president's wives. They have nothing to do with the stuff that counts. The president's policies and his or her ability to produce success for you and me. The perverts are not the female high school teachers sleeping with their 16-year-old male students. The crime is the deliberate destruction of your fellow human beings. It's the fucking goddamn bullying. The sexual perverts are those who use sexual scandals to destroy lives. Kenneth Starr is a pervert. So are you and I. And stopping the perversion is up to you and me. This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make. And now for that sleazy, sneaky, silent, scurrilous, seditious, perverted little off button. There, I've got it.